Let me know if the audio is okay in the chat. Or if this is just going to be a live stream full of banging and crashing. Sounds good. Okay, cool. I feel like I should just use one of these quick ones if I'm not really too fussed about getting the distribution perfect. So I've got this one. I know there's so many like little gadgets and stuff. I just got this one. It's supposed to be faster, but I feel like I'm not sure if it is better than just using a WDT. It tends to spray the coffee all over the place as well. That looks like more than 18 grams. Let's see. It might just be it's a much denser coffee because I roasted this one pretty dark for the latte art. So how do I like the Mazza? Honestly, I really love it. That's something wrong with that. Yeah, I think it's great. I just switched out the burrs the other day. There are 2 burr sets that come with it. So they have like a sort of multi-purpose burr, which the architecture looks really different. It's hard for me to talk and do all this stuff at the same time. I'm not World Barista Championship quality over here. Okay, that looks fine. Let's do something. So today I'm doing my Pegasus, and to finish my thought about the Mazza, I think the Mazza's great. It is a little on the pricey side for a 64mm burr grinder, but even at that price, I think just the build quality, I really like the espresso burrs. The multi-purpose burrs are fine, but the espresso burrs are fantastic. Really, really enjoying them. Get really creamy, delicious textured shots. So yeah. All right, if I'm doing so I figured out that about 200 mils of milk is the right amount for the Pegasus. So on this cup at least, I usually use 230 if I'm using the big, not neutral cup, but I'm going to try and keep things consistent today because I was doing some training yesterday with Heidi Phillips-Smith, and she was telling me like the reason why I'm not getting that much better at some of the designs I'm trying is because I keep on changing and doing different designs. And she said, if you want to get better, just do the same design like every day. Just do it over and over and over again until you completely nail it, and then you'll be happier. All right, first pour of the live stream. This is going to be a disaster, though, I'm fairly sure. I'll answer that seasoning question after I do this first pour. This isn't going to be great. It's okay. It's the first one of the day. So God, this is a disaster. Good. I'm glad you could all be here to watch. That is a pretty derpy Pegasus, and I'm going to move my light a little bit so it's easier to see because it's not easily visible here. Hold on one sec. Oh. So the question about the Mazza burrs, you don't need to season them. They are seasoned in the factory, which is something I've been saying that companies should do for the longest time, and I'm really glad that someone is actually listening, because I don't think it should be the user's responsibility to season the burrs, especially since they have a big factory. They can find some machine to season them for them. Yeah, so that's my first. Let's leave that one there for posterity. Yeah, so no, I'm really impressed that they do that, and obviously that's part of the extra cost of the machine. It is more expensive. It's not all just the Mazza brand being worth something to spend. It's also because they've done some things that other burr or grinder manufacturers don't do, like seasoning the burrs in the factory, which I think is great. Just reset it. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, definitely too much. Yeah, I think this bean is a lot more, it's a lot bigger. That is more volume than I'm used to, because it's quite a low altitude, it's a low altitude Brazilian bean, which is better for latte art. It's a very creamy texture for latte art, but not ideal really for, I mean, just espresso in general. I don't usually like these kinds of coffees, and it's going to be a lot less dense, so there'll be more higher volume. Oh, I forgot to do the little click. I do also really like the knocker on that one. The knocker's great. It's a lot more. What's the word? It's it actually just does what it's supposed to do, and it does it quickly. You don't have to play around with it or hit it 500 times. Like usually 2 or 3 is good enough to get like almost all of the retention. Okay. I think once I get into this and I'm not so nervous from being on a live stream, it will be much better. Okay. I know my coffee machine squeaks when I twist in the handle. I don't know why. It's not a very expensive machine. That's the next thing I'm going to need to upgrade. Okay, and I made the mistake that I wasn't supposed to. I said I wouldn't, is that I had too much milk in the jug for the last one. There we go. The question about equipment, yes, it's sometimes difficult for me because I'm a home barista. If you're in a cafe and you've worked in cafes for a long time, then you get used to commercial grade equipment and you can figure it out. But if you're like me and you've mostly been using sort of sub £2,000 coffee machines, it's very hard to get used to something like I think the caffeine one was a Cinesso machine. I'd never used one before. Very, very hard to get used to. Okay, let's give this one a go. This one's going to be better, I hope. Should be thicker back legs. Oh well. I always have this problem with the head. Oh, it's too bright. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. Let's try higher f-stop, a bit more ISO. There we go. How's that? Is that more visible? Yeah, I think the head is a bit too fluffy, so I haven't got very much milk left, so I might need a little bit more milk than that. That's probably the biggest issue, is that It's sort of just getting the foam at the end of it. But the body is long enough on this one. The legs are a bit spindly. Yeah, it's definitely could be improved, but not a bad second one. I'm just going to keep on going till I get it perfect. I love this jug rinser. I'm going to go get a towel quickly from the kitchen so I can dry these cups more easily. All right. Oh, I love having a jug rinser, and it's a drain as well. It's the best. It was way too expensive though. I don't know about any of you guys, if you ever dream of getting a jug rinser, which you can't really see all that well because of the camera being over here. That's my jug rinser right there. I love having a jug rinser, but it was very expensive. I think I spent about £600 getting all the parts for it and having someone come and install. Because I wasn't going to cut my table up. That would have been a disaster if I'd been the one doing it. Okay, so while I am grinding coffee up and stuff, I'm not as quick as this at this as the sort of pro baristas would be. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat there. And I'm happy to answer anything. It doesn't have to be about latte art either. It can be about coffee grinders. I've got way too many of them right now on the table. So, hey, Jordan. Yes, I do have the OPV on the Oscar 2. It is it's a great little workhorse, actually. I bought it just to do a video and to have like a temporary machine. But I've been surprised. It's actually been a really good machine, and the steaming power is really, really good for what it is. Like being a very budget-friendly machine. I think I only paid about 650, 700 euros for this. And it came with the OPV adjustment installed. So I think that's one of the problems that a lot of people had with that espresso machine, that I think the original OPV was like 13 bar or something, and so every shot was just going to be a problem. But yeah, my one was pre-factory installed with the OPV, so it was a very good deal, 660 euros, something like that. Yeah, good little worker. But I am hopefully getting some new espresso machines soon for reviews and for just to have a nicer machine on the bench. Like, it would be weird to have this 2,000 plus pounds coffee setup and everything, like with the table and the jug rinser and the wall panels and everything. Like, this was quite expensive. I spent way more than I expected to. So having a cheap espresso machine on the table doesn't really fit, does it? I really hate that the camera is like right next to my face when I'm doing that. I should move the camera, but I don't really know where else it can go, where it can get a good view of like the actual pour. That's where I usually do my pours from. Okay. Let's stick with this cup. I'm not going to change cups again. I'll put this one back. And it just mean I need to get more of the same cup if I'm going to keep on doing this. But yeah, it's good to practice with the same cup rather than changing the amounts of milk and all of that every time. That's really high, that one. I think this one's the one I went with. And probably using the same latte art jug as well. Like, that's the thing with anything to do with coffee. So you've got to keep everything consistent all the time. me cut that one a little bit short. Oh, it isn't too difficult of an install, Jordan. Yeah, it's funny, like working on espresso machines. So my brother used to be he's an engineer, and he used to work on espresso machines, and so he knows a lot about this kind of stuff. So when I have issues like changing burrs, like I had a misalignment with I think it was the DF83 when I switched it to SSP burrs, and I was like, these SSP burrs suck. And sometimes they don't even work. Like you get coffee out and it just sprays everywhere. And my brother said that I probably didn't align the burrs properly. And so once I'd aligned them, it was like a completely different thing. And I'm glad my brother knows a little bit about this, so I can understand. All right, I'm going to shut up and try and focus on this. It's a long body. I'm going to try and fix this. I'm going to ruin it in the process. That was so close to being pretty good. I'm a bit disappointed in that because I think I had the milk just right. This little hooking in with the feet thing, I don't know what that's about. I think it's just the milk wasn't in, or maybe I just wasn't pouring it right. The neck is totally messed up, so I need to work on that. Maybe I need to, when I do the guide, I need to have this wing be a little bit smaller and more centered, and this one needs to come up a bit more forward so that the neck looks a little bit better. I might just try with one wing, actually. If I do with just one wing, it's going to be a lot easier because that one always looks like it's floating. So that's something maybe I can add later when I get better at the initial design. So yeah, definitely room for improvement. It's not a bad one. Wow, it's really stuck in there already. There we go. Maybe I should get my other, I have like a little mat that I can use somewhere. There it is. Put this mat down on this corner so I have somewhere to knock out the puck screen. Jug rinser, yum. Okay. I feel like it's such a waste pouring these away, but thankfully I'm not using very expensive coffee. And the thing with latte art, it's not really a very sustainable thing. There are some like non-milk alternatives like Barista Carl's blend, but they don't last for very long. Apparently they go off quite quickly, so you can only use them for like a month or two. And they're quite expensive. I think the shipping was really expensive. That was the reason why I didn't buy it, because I think it's made in Australia. So at least the company was in Australia. So that would be better than using all this milk. Okay, next one, let's go. I need to get into a bit of a rhythm with this. So the longer I spend in between each pour, the worse the pour is, because I'm overthinking things. I'm a bit of an overthinker. Okay, any more questions? Drop them in the chat. Welcome to the people who joined recently. I'm making such a mess with this. Out there. So I weighed it out first time I did it, and then after that you can kind of eyeball it. And obviously after you've steamed, it's good to check and see how much volume there is in there. If you're used to the cup, you can be like, okay, that's too much milk. I think the amount of milk is probably one of the biggest things I've been getting wrong when I'm doing this design, is how much milk is actually in the jug. Because if you have too much, then towards the end, you're going to have the wrong foaminess of milk. You don't want the milk to be too foamy, but you also don't want it to be too thin. So if you have too much milk, it'll be too thin. And if you don't have enough milk, then you end up with a big splurgy llama head. Just not what I want. Okay. Oh. I need to do everything the way I'm supposed to. Okay, a bit much. Let's go with that. Should be okay. Might fill up a little bit more than last time, so I can get closer. Okay, I don't know what happened there. That was really bad. Okay, I'm just going to do the rest of it as best I can, but that wasn't a great start. Did that wing really wrong. I'm definitely doing something wrong with the head here. So, it's not too bad. Hey Joe, thanks for joining. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. After that first wing, I was like, that is atrocious. But the head, there's something going wrong with the head. I think I need to watch a video after I've done this live stream. I'll watch a few videos and see how people do their heads. Usually I see them go up, do a round, and then do the snout, and then pull up to the eye. But mine always, it looks a bit too thick towards the end, and I want it to look more graceful, because that one is a really derpy head. If there are any of my pro latte artist friends in the chat, please give me some indication of how I can fix that problem. I think I'll do like maybe 3 or 4 more, and then call it a day, because I've got a lot of other things to do today as well. Working on some videos. I've got one video coming up about the Mazophilos, and there's one about the DF83V, which I haven't switched out the burrs on yet. I didn't want to switch out both burrs on both machines at the same time, so I'm practicing with the Mazo one now, and then the DF83V is going to be the next one. I'm not sure which review I'll do first. Really depends. Okay. All right, I need to get faster at this in-between phase. I should probably have both of my scales on here as well. What does the Mazda cost? I am not sure of that anymore, because I thought it was over $1,000. And then I saw on Mazda's own website, it's like 750 or something like that, £750 UK. So I'm not really sure. And also that might not include shipping, especially like in England, we've got import duties and stuff from Europe now. So yeah, Brexit has really like made it harder to do coffee stuff in the UK for sure, more expensive. But yeah, it's definitely a lot more expensive than like the I guess grinders in the same class, like the DF64V. Yeah, although the DF64V has more functionality, right? It's got the variable grind, but it's definitely a very different machine overall. Okay. I'm just going to use this one quickly. I feel like for me, because it doesn't make as much of a mess, the WDT is easier to use than a lot of the sort of all-in-one distribution tools. That's another video I've got to do as well. Distribution tools. There are just so many of them. It's getting kind of ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, Joe, I think in the UK I've seen it in some distributors, but they are really overcharging for it. I think I saw one, I forgot which outlet it was, but it was like £1,400, which is pretty absurd amount of money to pay for even like a top-end grinder. Like this, I would say the Mazda is like a high-end home grinder, but even for, you know, something like the Monolith or the Zerno grinders, like that, you know, they've obviously got a lot of extra engineering goes into them. Even for those, like, that's expensive. So I don't know if they're just trying to capitalize on people wanting the grinder, but it's not yet available, or they don't have a UK distributor yet. So that's a whole question. Right, it's a bit too much milk. That's the thing I've been getting wrong. All right, let's try and I'm going to do with one wing this time and hopefully get it right. I'm messing up the order completely. Okay, not too bad, eh? Not too bad. I think it's easier with one wing. It's easier to make it look epic, but definitely the body needs to be like higher up. But you know, I think I'm getting there. There's also a little bit more space in the cup. Could have filled that up a little bit better. Oh well. Let's try one more with the wing. So what I should have done, and there's a lot of things I can do better for next time I have, thank you, Joe. I think it looked okay. Yeah, one of the things I should do for the next live stream is I'm going to get some tubes and I will pre-weigh the coffee so I can have the coffee out a lot faster. I think that's going to make a really big difference, because doing all of this in between, it's also, you know, I'm not used to being on live camera. I'm used to filming quietly by myself, and then I can make as many mistakes as I want and just know that I'm going to film it again. So yeah, it's a very different thing doing a live video than my own sort of pre-scripted video. Should be fine. And yes, I do tamp pretty hard. When I've done coffee with other people at their places or something, often the coffee comes out a lot slower. And people are like, you tamp so hard. And I'm also one of those assholes who locks in the portafilter at like really, really far. I think it's because the first machine I had, I didn't know much about gaskets and stuff like that back in the day when I had the Rancilio Silvia. And I used to just pull it round as far as it would go because the gasket was old and wrecked, and it just needed a new gasket. Once I got that, it didn't need to be going to round so much. Okay, what about this lighting as well? Like, I feel like no one can see on the other side. You can only really see like what's directly under. Maybe if I took off the mesh, it might be a brighter thing. And I'm going to need to get some water to refill the machine. There we go, it should be enough. I found with this machine, it doesn't quite have enough power to get the good roll. That's the only thing, like the only reason why I really want a more powerful machine. It's still good steam for the price, but I was using a commercial machine yesterday and it's like night and day difference. All right, pour a little bit of that out. Yes, I do usually use a puck screen, Joe. I think puck screens are, I wouldn't say necessary, but I just do it to keep everything clean. Yeah, okay. I'm doing this all completely the wrong order because I'm not used to doing a one wing. Okay, that's actually one of the best ones I've done. That's pretty good. The head could be further back, but otherwise I think it's pretty nice. I kind of want to take a photo of that with my phone, wherever my phone is. That's a good one. Best one of the live stream so far. Yeah. So yeah, Joe, if you've got a good machine to send me, that would be great. I do. I was still waiting actually for my. I've got the Odyssey Argos incoming. I think I ordered it in January, but they haven't sent me that one yet. I might be getting. I'm not sure about this yet because I've been waiting for quite a while. I might be getting a Unica Pro, which is a Swiss-made machine. I'm not sure what the steam power is going to be like on that one because that one, its main draw, I think, is that it's low energy usage. So it uses like a thermal plane, or it's like a thermal block maybe. I need to do some more research into the machine before I talk about it. But yeah, the Unica Pro looks really nice though. That's going to be really fun. And hopefully I'll get a chance to use the new Nuri R-Type, which I've seen before. Antonio brought it round when he came to visit me last year. The R-Type sounds really, I mean, I've seen it before. It looks beautiful. And that would be really cool as well. Definitely something that would look, I think that would look solid in this space as well. I have to pull this away, but it's such a nice one. Wow. Not very nice coffee though. It's my first time roasting this one. I just roasted it for this. It was this not even specialty grade coffee. I bought commodity coffee just for doing latte art things, and so I can just roast it when I need some for latte art. And yeah, that was a very cheap coffee. why would I waste a nice coffee on doing latte art? Oh yeah, use this. There we go. And I've just remembered that I need to refill the water. So I'll be back in 1 second. I'm going to refill the water. Okay. There we go. I think I'm just going to do one more because it's been nearly 45 minutes. And so hopefully this last one is the best one. But even if it's not better than that last one-winged one that I did, I will feel very accomplished if I just did that one. So let's see. Where is my... Yeah, okay. Hey Joe, that sounds really cool. I hope you can. I hope you can do that at a good price. There are a lot of other machines kind of trying to do the same thing. I did a review of the CAF Machino, which is like I think it's the same body as the Turin Legato machine, and but it has a Bluetooth chip in it, so it can connect to a tablet, and that can control temperature and pressure and flow rates and things like that. I think that's great. I think the more competition we have, the better. I'd love to make an espresso machine one day. I need to learn a bit more about coffee though. First, I need to learn more about how to do an espresso machine myself. That would be really fun. All right, let's do it. There we go. He's gone I this time. Not bad. Not bad for a loss. I mean, obviously, like the legs are all messed up and the wings all messed up, and yeah, I'll do a much better job when I'm not on camera, I think. But I think I've made some progress today. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up to the live stream. I'll try and do this once every 2 weeks if I can. Just that way I can get practice, be on camera more, and I can try different things. Make sure you're on my Instagram because I'll put up a poll and see what people think I should practice. So this one, the Pegasus one, I think. Maybe next time I'll try hollow hearts or the winged tulip designs or something. So cool. Thanks very much, everyone, and see you again next time.